Jools here from Joolsedesigns at JT Creations. Welcome to my channel and happy 4th of July. So I'm not American, but my husband is American, so he does celebrate the 4th of July and along with his family in the States. And I know I've got lots and lots of American subscribers. So what I've done is I've done a freebie for you just to celebrate the 4th of July. So we've got a paper bag, we've got tickets, we've got like a pocket. Now you can have that as 2 pockets or you can have it as a pocket and a flap. You just cut those off. There's journal cards, there's embellishments, there's more tickets. And then for the ones that are not over keen on the grungy element, there's the more brights, and again journal card, either 2 pockets or a pocket with a flap, some embellishments, and there's also a faded grungy flag with the Statue of Liberty and a bit of a map. What I've done is I've just printed it off on the other side. So with the magic of video editing, I will be back in 2 seconds and these will all be cut out. See you in a bit. Okay, so that's me, I'm back. So I've cut them out. So I've cut the pocket and I cut the flaps on that one. But on the other, I cut the flaps off the side. So that makes a nice pocket with a flap. This one, I cut the pocket out and I cut the flap off with the side flaps because I'm not sure if I'm going to do a double pocket with that one. If I decide to do a pocket with a flap, I'll cut them off. And I've cut the tickets out and I've cut the paper bag out and I have trimmed it and scored it. And that's how that sits there. Now the other thing was I printed the sheet out on cream card. I folded it in half and I've taken off 1/2 inch off there and 1/2 inch off there, so it now measures 7 3/4 by 5, just under 5 1/2. So I'm going to take it down a little bit more. So I've taken it down to 7 1/2, I think. Yep, by 5 1/4. So what I'm going to do is, this is card, and I'm going to make a folio file folder. And I've printed just some coffee dyed printable inside. So what I want is, I want a tab there and I want a tab there. So I'm marking this at 2 1/2, and then I'm just going to take a slither off this, and because that was 2 1/2, I'm measuring it at just an 1/8, no, just an 1/8 under 2 1/2. No, I won't, I'll measure it at 2 1/2. And again, just take a slither off there, put that back. So what I want now is I want to cut that piece off and that piece off, the top piece. So I'm just measuring it up to the the lines just so that I can see, and I can see a bit of a line there, so I'm just take my knife. If I wanted to, I could mark it with a pencil and cut it with scissors. And there we have that bit. Now this one, I want the bottom bit off. And again, I'm just using the lines just so that I've got, I can see the tiny bit of the line there. So I just want to see the tiny bit of the line here. And that comes off there. So I've got a file folder with a tab there and a tab there. And this will fit in a journal quite nice. So what we'll do is we'll do the paper bag first, and I'm just sticking this down and just a thin line up there, because it crosses over about 1/4 inch. And if you're worried about your glue seeping, just put something under there. I've just felt there's nothing seeping out, so I'm fine. And then just the bottom flap. Okay, now if you wanted the you know, sometimes paper bags have like sort of like little conjugated edges. I've got some there they are. I've got deckled scissors, and I've also got a deckled cotton board, so if I wanted to, I could use that. And there we are. And then what we'll do is we'll ink round that, because obviously the paper bag's got white edges, white lines for you to show you where to fold. So we just want to, and if you wanted, you could ink that before you folded it or stuck it, whichever. And you can see most of the white lines on there. So, and I'm just using Friar Brown by Harmony Spectrum Noir. And if you wanted to make it an envelope, you've got your white line there as well. Not to worry about that, because it's going to go in that way. And then you can put your tickets and what other ephemera in your paper bag. And this is nice on vellum. You can print it out on vellum. It looks quite nice, and that would fit in there, or it would sit on there, or even on the back. So we'll put that over there, and then we'll look at the pockets. So we'll do this one first, and I'm going to put it inside. So I have scored the edges. I did that when I cut it out. I've not folded them, I've just scored it. So we've got that one there. And the reason I mean, I've made it quite big so you can have, you know, it taller or longer, whichever is best for you. You don't have to do it the same way as me. I mean, you can make a shorter pocket if you want, or you can have 2 pockets. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ink around the edges. And of course this is bright, you could ink round in red if you wanted, but I'm not, I'm just inking round in using the Fryer Brown. And sometimes I use Vintage Photo or Walnut Stain. It's just that Fryer Brown's my favourite this week, so I tend to change it. And then what we'll do is we'll stick this in. I'm just going to trim that off because you don't have to have the flaps as big as that. And I'm just burnishing it down. And then we'll put this on here. And these would make nice little cards to send, you know, when if you're giving gifts at on the 4th of July or having parties, invitations, things like that. Although you are getting this on the 4th of July, so. Maybe you need to use it for next year. And what I'm doing is I'm just, before I stick the flap down, I'm just matching the edges up. And I could have had it further up if I wanted, but I'm quite happy with it there. And there we are. And then we've got you can use these as bits of ephemera. What I tend to do with these is I've got them as layered mats. You know, when you, and then what I'll do is I'll stamp on that one. And just move my tea out the way, because I have some date stamps here, but they don't have the 4th on. They've got July. But I'm just wondering if I have a 4, a big large 4 somewhere that I can fit on. Now that would fit on there. put July on there. Just let me have a look. I have got some numbers somewhere. Right, so I've got a background stamp and this has a 4 on it. And I quite like that because it's got like a frame round it. Just wondering if I can. Yes, I can. So what I want to do is and if you're just wanting part of a stamp, this is kind of the easiest way to do it. Well, it's the way I've always done it. So I've got a post-it note here. And I'm going to cut a strip off here. And that will go there. I'm not taking it over the frame. And again, not taking it over the frame. So what I'm going to do is, in fact, that looks perfect on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do it on this. Okay. So I'm using VersaFine Onyx Black. Yeah, and I'm inking over the paper, but that's fine because I'm going to take this off. And then I am going to put it on here. And there we are. And I was looking to see if I had a TH somewhere. I have but and then what we're going to do is I'm going to stick this on. And this one. If you wanted, you could, you could muddle them up, but I'm not going to. And I'm putting that one that way. This is a little bit darker, so and what I'll do is just let me get those out of the way, otherwise I'm going to end up with black ink on my and these stamps I got from Temu or AliExpress. I do not have the links for them. And I'm just going to stand up and do this, and hopefully it will be straight. If it's not, it's not. And there we are. there. And I'm just inking around the edges. It's not that straight, but and if you wanted you could raise it up a little bit, but I'm just here just showing you what you can do. You can do something totally different. It's entirely up to you. No, that won't go there. So there we've got that, and we've got that, but we'll deal with the ephemera in a minute. So what I will do is I'll put that away for now, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do the pockets here. Now I am going to put a tall pocket and a short pocket. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting that bit off, and again I've scored the edges along the white lines that's there. And it doesn't really matter about the bottom because that's going to get covered. And we'll have that like that. And we'll fold that over. And what I want is I want this to pop in there. Now what I might need to do is I might need to just rescore it a bit, but it looks like I'm going to be okay. Now I'm going to have to rescore it a bit. So all I do is I just do it on this side. So I take my ruler. That's where the score was, so I'm just going to bring it in half an eighth. Just needs to be a fraction. And then take my ball tool and just bring it in that little bit. You might need to trim a little bit off that edge there. And that should be enough for it to fit in. You can take it in both sides if you want, but there you are. And that's perfect. So what I want to do first is I'm going to stick this one on. And again, I'm just guessing the middle. And I've cut the flap off that, so this, I'm just now going to check this. Put that in there. Now I'm not going to stick those bits down there. What I am going to do is I'm going to stick these bits here. And that should be enough because it is quite a tight fit. If you want to, you can glue all the way down. And as I said, that should have been trimmed off beforehand. but we'll just leave it. Whoops. And then what we've got a pocket there, and we've got a pocket there. So we have ephemera for this one. And again, I'm not going to put that on just yet. Nope. So what I want to do is I want to make a tag for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go off and print another sheet of this so that I can make a tag. So I will see you in a couple of seconds. Right, so I'm back. So what I've done is I've cut one piece at 3.5, one piece at 3, and what was left I cut, which was the Statue of Liberty. I cut this one at 4 because that will go in there. So we've got that. These will go with that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit off this. And this is just an A4 sheet, which is the equivalent to the letter size in the US. And I'm just going to round the corners. And we'll ink round that. And you can decorate this up. And then what we want to do is we want to put that in there, and I'm going to take that off there, this here. And again, and this is kind of the faded grungy look American flag in the background, and you just see the hand of the Statue of Liberty holding the torch. And again, you can put all your bits and pieces on there. Now, what I was thinking of was putting another pocket on here, because what I wanted to do was use this to make a belly band to hold this. I think we'll put it up there, so we'll not going to ink the bottom because we're going to trim the bottom off, because obviously it's longer than the paper. And we'll pop that in the middle like that. And just put a bit on the bottom there. And I know I've got subscribers from all over the world, so if you have a special day that you celebrate and you would like me to do a freebie, just let me know. Let me know the date of it, and I'll see what I can come up with. So we'll put that there for now. think we'll just take the corners off here. So you've got lots of journaling space for your goings on of the 4th of July and what you got up to and everything. We can put these in, put them in there. We've got that. Do we want that one on there? Or do we want this on here? Quite fancy having some kind of, you know, 4th of July date or something on here. Have a little stack going on there. Yep, I think that's what we'll do with that. So that just fits. So what I'm doing is I'm just gluing in the middle, and I've done this on 120 GSM paper. Now I'm going to put this down here. So 120 GSM papers. Oh, that my battery went on my video, so I was sticking these on, put that one down as normal, and then I kind of staggered these. Again, I masked the 4 on this stamp, and I did it there, and I did the little stamp on there. I think I put some little stamps up there. We did some on the tickets, and it was just to say thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy your free 4th of July kit, and that will just fit in a journal. You can decorate that, you can put all your photographs in, you can put a photograph of the family, you know, your celebration for the 4th of July or whatever you want. You don't even have to use it for the 4th of July. It's not got 4th of July anywhere, but it is red, white and blue. And just use it as you want. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.